MBT has made a video depicting me in a, nothing really, I don't know. I guess we're gonna see what it is. Master Duel is not for you. I was told to react to this because the basis of it is my content, which, I mean, you know, must be MBT's channel, am I right? So let's take a look and see what he's got to say. I think this was about the Master Duel Sucks video, which was basically me complaining that Master Duel is not a good game right now. That's the synopsis. Do you agree?
This week, Farfa uploaded a low-effort, unscripted, repetitive, exactly 8-minute ramble.
I will not fall for. I'm keeping my cool.
Must be a day that ends in Y, am I right?
Oh yeah, must be Mondays. Yeah, you want to talk about low effort and chef?
Right? But instead of his usual epic takedowns of something I made, this...
What MBT invented discussions.
Video had a point. Yes, it was messy, but it was messy because...
11 minutes and 8 minutes, same number. Must be so... What does the M in MBT stand for? Mathematic big titty? Mathematical brain tumor?
By now, what can you manage about Konami's flagship product other than a vague frustration? Sitting down and writing out what's happened to Master Duel is almost an impossible task. You get about 3 sentences in before you start getting angry.
SpongeBob! 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 I can't believe MBT's resorted to SpongeBob memes. He always talks about meme review like he's too good for it, right? And here he is putting SpongeBob in the discussion video.
Angry, then frustrated, then sad, then empty, then contemplative, then horny, then angry again.
That's one of those bro thinks he's on the team. Sorry, all of those applied, and then he tried to squeeze in what?
Almost an impossible task. You get about 3 sentences in before you start getting angry, then frustrated, then sad, then empty, then contemplative, then horny, then...
That's not how I feel when I play ranked. Where did this is... Just kind of slipping that in for the propaganda, huh?
Angry again. There are times when, as someone who has inexorably tied his finances to this product, you can't do much more than sigh and load into another game of ranked regardless. So rather than talk about Master Duel by talking about Master Duel, I want to draw an analog. As Magic the Gathering...
Oh! Just go and play Magic. Just stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Just go be a Magicer. He just wants to be a Magicer so much. Okay. I'm just rage baiting. It's fine.
Has begun its slow transition into Fortnite. The geniuses in charge of...
Yo, Fortnite!
Facilitating this transformation have come up with a useful phrase for bad sets. This product is not for you. Not everything can appeal.
Wait, is that like an actual Wizards term? Do they say that to their player base? This product is not for you? I don't know. I feel like the SpongeBob counterspell could actually be for everyone. I'm just saying, if you're a blue player, just because it's SpongeBob doesn't mean you can't play. I think it's good product.
Appeal to everybody, after all.
Wait, so Wizards talk to their players? Huh.
Then there's no reason to yuck other people's yums. To translate from the Spider-Man CCG to Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe you don't like that Challenger Cups were shelved for Shadow Duelist, but maybe a lapsed Yugist who's a fan of One Direction loved it. Maybe you...
Who is this for? Like, you know when it comes to, like, squandering money? Who was that for? Like... I need to see the Venn diagram spread of Zayn Malik fans and Yu-Gi-Oh players because it must be like, do you know what I mean? Like, who is this for? Who? Oh my god, the amount of money they must have spent on that, by the way. I don't know, shout outs to Zayn Malik. He probably just took his bag and ran with it, because why the hell not? Konami giving me like probably like tens of thousands to do a little silly dress-up tournament thing, pretending I play the game. Absolutely worth it, you know? But for the average person, I mean, what did we get out of it? Like an Instagram post? I'm sure hundreds of thousands of millennial women came in their droves to install Master Duel. Right?
aren't a fan of the current card pool, but some guy with a bootleg Appaloosa figurine might be. And maybe you don't love that there's only one way to play the game, but don't the pros deserve a chance to test? As Master Duel gears up to enter its 4th year, I think it's worth asking the question, who is Master Duel for? Let's get into it.
Well, I mean, Master Duel, I would think Konami interpret it to be a marketing tool for their card game. Maybe that's initially how it started. Maybe that's how it was initially planned. It feels like in a lot of ways that Master Duel has almost taken over as the flagship product for Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. So, who knows what the actual intention behind Master Duel as a program is today, but all I know is that they're squandering opportunities to encapsulate as many people as possible. Because right now, it really does feel like this deep into the game, it's basically just for people who like competitive ranked. And even then, I don't even know if it's for competitive ranked players, because the amount of bullshit cards that are in this game definitely take away from the autonomy and the interactivity and the just the competitive integrity of Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway, don't need to go too deep into the Palooza Maxi argument again.
Meta sucks. Farfa talks about it a little in his video, but I'll give you a brief overview here as well. At present, there's really only one deck worth playing, Malice. If you stretch the definition of worth playing, you can get to a second one, Ryziel. At the start of Ryziel's tenure in the metagame, I went to bat for it. Cards like Ext and builds like Fiendsmith are good on the play, but better on the draw, and their uninterrupted turn 1 board is very breakable. Unfortunately, the Master Duel card pool's just totally unprepared for best of one. As a result, stupid-ass setups that wouldn't pass muster in games where one player knows if they'll be on the play or the draw are just totally free here, resulting in a deck whose current most common end board is Baguska and Detonator, both of which are untargetable, courtesy of Photon Dragon. You'd expect a game that intends to be best of one forever to have, like, a ban list designed around it, but no, it doesn't. In fact, it's full of negate slop all-stars like Appaloosa that are legal nowhere else. I'll give you an example of how ridiculous this is. At the World Tournament, the going first win rate was 70%. For Malice specifically, it was 80%. This is, of course, impacted by the specific World's rule set that prevents players from maxing out on every hand trap, but they were playing a lot of them and it wasn't nearly enough.
I mean, this is just kind of rephrasing, right? Yeah, like current meta bad.
I remember when Hearthstone had to move heaven and earth when it was revealed in 2016 that their going first win rate was approaching 55. The horror! Unfortunately, every time you so much as mention Master Duel's current miserable meta...
I think it's very different, right? Because you got to look at the system in which the tournament is played compared to, like, modern ranked. It's weird, but at the same time, like, it's not super comparable to, like, oh no, the win rate is too high. We're approaching 55. Who knows the internal statistics and analysis they use for their cards? It seems like Konami seemed to go off of priority number 1 being win rate to balance cards, and then priority number 2 being rarity. So if a card just has a high win rate, you know, they kind of go by that, which is why you see a lot of like silly consistency hits rather than like problematic hits. Anyway, besides the point.
game, you get a half dozen dedicated
or diameter to 1, you know, vibes alone, you know.
Master Duel grinders hopping into your mentions to let you know that yes, while the metagame isn't perfect, there's still a lot of fun to be had just competing. Isn't the thrill of competition its own reward?
This is
and the
yugioh.
best players consistently place high in DC, so clearly there's skill involved.
See, he's calling out
that's
yugioh.
True. Competitive nut punching also allows you to feel the thrill of competition.
Yugioh punching me in the nuts.
And the cream consistently rises to the top there, too. Iron Balls Wilson just won his 8th title.
Iron Balls Wilson, that's Trish.
This is the first example of Master Duel not being for me. I can't sustain myself just
Why was he showing Josh there?
Competition. I won't.
You think he researches his videos? Come on.
Fun doing it. Why aren't you all Pokemon players, for instance? Min-maxing a format I hate is just work.
Anyway, the point being is that there is competitive integrity in everything, right? It doesn't matter how bad the game is or how bad the format is. There's always going to be some degree, even in a format like this, of deck building, skill testing, etc., etc. But it's like, do you want to deck build and test and analyze and break down and try and break the format if it's just inherently just a garbage, crappy format? Like, I'm sure there's like a lot of skill involved and so much, you know, things involved with min-maxing Hello Kitty Island. But there's a reason those servers are dead, right? Because no one wants to play Hello Kitty Island, right? I just made that up. Maybe they do have a thriving MMO community. I'm just saying. But, like, ultimately, like, if it's not fun, then it doesn't matter if there's skill involved, right? Because current format in Master Duel is not fun. So...
There's skill in scrubbing toilets. Farfa beat this to death in his video, and it's not hard to see why.
Listen, don't want to say Master Duel is in the toilet, but it's pretty crappy.
For a lot of players, Master Duel is the exclusive way they engage with Yu-Gi-Oh! For a lot of potential players, it's a first step on what could be a long and storied Yu-Gi-Oh! Adventure. But for all of them, it really pales in comparison to what's available in the TCG or the OC.
This is like the main thing that these TCG supremacists always seem to forget, and yeah, just don't really, just always forget, basically, is the accessibility of Master Duel. Some people would genuinely just rather, no matter how garbage, terrible Master Duel is, they will always just play Master Duel over TCG, because just sitting on a computer, hanging out with your friends on Discord, in a remote location where you don't have locals or you don't have accessibility to cheap, relevant metagame cards, etc., is just, you know, exactly. I'd rather play a bad format than play in person. Like, that's the reality for a huge number of Master Duelists, is you have a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter how bad it is, that version of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's still Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's just the best, easiest, convenient way for you to play it.
This is compounded by the issue that there's nothing to do in this game. I went over this a little bit on stream.
How hard is this to do? But this is the thing that annoys me so much. I learned today, by the way, that let me just phrase this properly. So, Master Duel, from what I recall, is, you know, approaching his 4th year, and the duel room specifically, I think the only change was they increased the cap to like 25 duelists to like 50 duelists or so. That's in the 4 years the duel room has had that. That's it. That's the only change, and that might even just be made up. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it can't be that hard, right? It just can't be that difficult. The one simple example that I give you, right? Whenever there's a festival in Master Duel, you can open a duel room and it's like you can host it under that festival, right? However, when there's the duel trials, you can't do that, because you can choose custom rules and custom card pools when you make a duel room. With festivals, it doesn't let you do that for the duel trials. So if you want to play GOAT format, if you want to play Edison whenever they come around, you have to, like, you know, do like convoluted gentleman's agreement, you know, fake first. You choose second if you're going first, and then you make your opponent pass, and they pass back to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to do to make it work. So just simple things like that just really annoy me, because it's like, why would they just not give you alternative ways to play Master Duel? It's in there. It's literally in the game. Like, we know it's there. We know it's there in the game, and it's coded and ready to go because we have the duel trials.
Here, it's really, really out of place that the only thing you can do in Master Duel is ranked. Not to beat off Magic the Gathering for the 6th time this video, but Arena's been out.
I like mana.
Just about as long as Master Duel. If I open up the Spider-Man-less Spider-Man client, I'm greeted with draft cubes, traditional draft cubes, Foundations draft, Edge of Eternity's draft, a Premier version, a Standard qualifier, a Phyrexia draft, an L-Train draft, Phantom Sealed, and a Pioneer challenge.
Okay, there comes a point where too many options is too much, but just principally that is good. Okay, like, less is more, in my opinion. There should maybe be, like, you know, 3 or 4, probably 2 to 3, to be honest. But the fact that that exists is, like, incredible, right? Like, Master Duel has one. Just one. Sometimes 2 every few months when there's an event, but just one, basically.
Tutorials, color challenge, starter deck duels, plus...
Wait, there was more? What the fuck?
Game modes of Standard, Alchemy, Historic, Brawl, and Timeless.
Okay, to be fair, this must be like Master Duel Team Battle, right? Where there's probably just, like, dead queues and no one playing half of these. But, I mean, options are options, you know? You can't complain.
And 2 or 3 of those are even good. If I open up Duel Links, I get Speed
Wait, only
Duel
2?
Ladder, Rush Duel Ladder, PvE, Refresh, and the Gate, Loner Duels.
All right, I'm sorry, Joseph, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Dude, you can't say Duel Links has better options and then mention the Gate. That shit is not content.
Tour Guide Bingo, Duelist Road, Return
Tour Guide Bingo! We are reaching here, dude. Come on.
and a character unlock. If I open up Master Duel, I get Duel. Some solo modes that are all the exact same gameplay loop, and depending on the week, we might have an event that's almost always just ladder, but with a different ban list. It's been 4 years. Where is fucking Edison? Where is Draft? Where's Sealed? Where's Limited Play at all? Legacy of the Duelist had Battle Pack Draft, and it's like 10 years old.
This game has draft? So you're telling me it's very easy and simple. Because this game was definitely made by like 4 people. Unironically, this was outsourced to like some studio, some indie game studio. Probably gave them no royalties. Sacked all of the QA team after like a year, who knows. This game has a draft. This game has a draft. I mean, why? Why are they so against it? My only theory is that Konami is scared that people will realize how much fun Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when you aren't playing the competitive meta cycle that they force feed you through their products every few months. They're scared and worried that people will just enjoy the game too much at the Edison level, at the draft level, and therefore not really make them any money. At least with some of the Time Wizard stuff. But this is just free money. Imagine there was a draft mode where you entered with gems. If you do well enough, you can make back your gems. But only if you do really well. Like, maybe you make top 8 out of a random 16 thing, right? Like, people would be spending so much money if these costed gems to enter. Like Hearthstone Arena? Exactly. It's just a money printer. Like, I don't know. Costs too much money to code, I guess. I don't know.
Hearthstone shipped with Arena, and we're using Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck to manage our Saga accounts. Do you have any idea how much Sealed would make you? How much easier it would be for new players to get into the game if you had structure deck or character duels? We're never going to have...
The problem with Master Duel is the 0 to 100, right? You download the game, and it gives you a structure deck, and then you play with it, and then you're playing against Malice within, like, 3 duels. Like, literally, like, every single time you play a new, fresh account to try out a new deck or something in Master Duel, you are playing against, like, a top-tier meta deck within, like, 3 to 5 ranked games. Or you're, you know, playing against the bot that, like, just passes every turn. How is a new player supposed to get into that, right? Maybe, here's a crazy idea, bronze to, rookie to bronze, you should only be allowed to play with structure decks. I don't know, some silly idea like that, you know? They give you a tactical tri deck or something in silver, and then in gold you can, like, play your own deck. So, I don't know, I just anything. There's so many things to talk about and so many things to complain about. I didn't even know where to begin.
Have our fucking commander moment. It took them 3 years to give us rated. God forbid something needs coding. Look, on one hand, I get it. For 70% of Yu-Gi-Oh's lifespan, playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Has meant exactly one thing. But it's wild to see how many new ways to play the game erupted out of having a client that looks good. Saga, Roulette, Masochist, Mirror Masters. And how unwilling Konami
Huh? What was that last one?
is to do anything but different ban list, same ladder. At YCS's, they've sanctioned cool shit like Rivalry and Speed Duels. Why can't they just give an intern a weekend project to build the Rivalry decks or something? As a result, if you're not interested in climbing a ladder, facing ever more meta opponents, then Master Duel isn't
stuff for
you.
content creators. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a very head in the clouds take there. But I didn't want to go down. But someone mentioned, yeah, like all the things you mentioned are like, yeah, dude, that's great for exactly like the 5 people who do those things. But the thing is, it's very easy to adapt a lot of it into like real game modes for real people to do. You know, like you could create a system like in the Duel Room that allows you to play with other people in a draft format. or with pre-constructed rivalry decks, or yeah, maybe like an actual masochist mode where you can only play with cards you pull or something. Okay, no, that sounds extremely pay to win. Never mind. But you know, I'm just spitballing. Just make some shit up.
Around in low rank with garbage? Enjoy every third game against an unskippable Malice cutscene. Wanna do stupid challenges with your friends? Well, load up a third-party app. Wanna play domain format? Hop on Dueling Book, I guess. It seems like an obvious move
You
to
play domain
integrate
on DB? Isn't that
any
4-player?
of this into the client, which brings me to a discussion on... This entire video, and Farfa's, have been big whinge fests about the state of Master Duel. How do I rankle that with the video I made last month in which I said that Master Duel's popularity is coming at the cost of the TCG? Well, it's because despite the above problems, Master Duel's doing fine. Check the players graph and you'll see it's hemorrhaging users for the above reasons.
Why is he showing a almost 3-year-old graph? I mean, to be fair, that's how long it's been bleeding players.
Outside of some VTube talent paid to play the game, no one remotely large is checking it out, and yet, it's doing what it has to. It's making a lot of money. I've been detailing...
Do we know what the latest Konami earnings are? Because this might be an interesting thing to look at. We should be approaching the third quarter. Full year quarter 2026. So what? It's backdated by like. Wait, how do these things work exactly? What period is this? Ended June 30th, 2025. So we're looking at specifically profit before income tax. Consolidated financials are for the 3 months ended here. There's a better category. Earning forecast. Business performance. Digital entertainment. This is what we're looking for. Percentage change up by 14.2%. For revenue. We have digital entertainment profits. Probably somewhere, but just looking at revenue, it's up by like 14%. But again, that's revenue, not profit, so who knows what they've been investing in outside of Master Duel. But again, also, to be fair, that must be caveated, right? Because there's no way to know Master Duel's financial performance. Very specifically, digital entertainment for Konami includes... Wasn't there like a Metal Gear release recently, by the way? Like that, all of that money could just be like Metal Gear, right? Because I think there was a remake recently. So all of that stuff is included, right? So we don't know exactly what Master Duel specifically is up to. We can only sort of maybe kind of like assume and guesstimate, but that's about it.
The people Master Duel isn't for. Weekend warriors, jank enthusiasts, alternate format enjoyers, anyone who doesn't like Malice. But there's an inverse of this question, right? Who is Master Duel for? Well, it's for whales. It's for people like me who outspend hundreds of kind of invested people. It's why Konami's focus hasn't been on new game modes or balanced formats. It's been on cosmetic releases.
This is just like what annoys me the most. Ultimately, like, rather than trying to reach a broader, bigger, larger player base, it's about profit, it's about cost cutting, and it's about how can we squeeze as much as possible versus as little amount of effort as possible. And really, it's just this, to keep invested players spending on gems with shit like this. And it's so heartbreaking. As long as we keep buying these, like, things, and that's the only way to, that will be the way that they keep making the money and keep profiting. This bundle, how much do you think this cost to make? Like, literal CAD software... basic graphic thing that they probably freelanced to some guy for like a couple $100, imported it into the game, and boom, there you go. Sell it for 3,000 gems, and you get people wailing on this, and they're tens of thousands to buy it, right? Like,
and battle passes and fucking favorite slots. They're making you pay to mark a card in the favorite tab.
you can buy bookmarks. That is crazy to me that you can buy bookmarks. You can't even sort it, by the way. There's no sorting option. It's just listed by alphabetical order, right? Like, that's it. Like,
And
I asked for more bookmarks, by the way. Yeah, but we don't need to pay for... Why are we paying for them? So what you're saying is this is your fault? You did this, Haas? Banned again.
make no mistake, the goal of Master Duel isn't to sequester the whales off in a corner to keep the game thrumming. It's to convert the people who aren't whales into whales. That's why there's so many URs in these must-play
This is just Gacha 101, right?
strategies. That's why even basic functionality like deck slots are paywalled. They want you comfortable spending money. A little here, a little there, until you're invested. Then you
Okay, I did buy the Autumn Field, but from now on I am standing a protest.
gotta keep up. That's what they've spent the 4 years this game's been out doing. Finding ways to juice you. The game is designed from the ground up to capitalize on a dwindling number of people with mental illness. Gambling addicts,
Whoa.
YouTubers, or those who never Googled what the sunk
People with mental illness, gamblers and YouTubers. Hold on a second, buddy. Speak for yourself.
cost fallacy is. They don't care that their multiplayer game is putting up lower numbers than The Binding of Isaac. You can't spend $300 on a Malice Core, followed by another $50 when Archnemesis extenders are released in a secret room. If you're not spending money, and a lot of it, then Master Duel is not for you. As a conclusion,
Has there been a budget deck in recent years? Because normally, like, they'll release a set, like a selection pack, and there'll just be, like, a bunch of ultras, all dedicated to, like, the best deck, right? So, you know, for example, Malice is pretty much all ultras. Mimigulls. Yeah, Mimigulls are pretty cheap, I think. They've got, like, mostly supers. I think, like, Maker's the one at 3. Memento? I don't think Memento was cheap. Mermel was cheap? No. Mermel's not cheap. Mermel needed a lot of crappy old ultras, and a lot of the extra deck is not really crossover cards. Because usually what happens is when there's a new deck, like, you don't need to buy a lot of the extra, right? It's like a couple of cards here and there, like 4 to 5 maybe, and then you just have, like, staples like Apo and SP and Mask and stuff that you already kind of have, so you're invested in those cards. But, like, yeah, that's why maybe Memento felt cheap, I suppose, because the extra deck, I think, is kind of crossover. The Voiceless Trash Herman forced me to buy 4 Worlds for testing. Voiceless was way too expensive for how good it was, by the way. Like, that's like a anti-meta niche pick at best. And they just juiced it.
Just want to say, if you find Master Duel fun and enjoyable, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you're able to, genuinely. I just want more people to be able to enjoy the game that I love, not just a specific sliver of the community.
Yeah,
If
enjoy,
you do too,
Judeo.
let Konami know. There's going to be a survey after the DC, I imagine. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.
I'm getting so sick and tired of, like, these surveys and just repeating and saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I know hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people are saying the exact same things over and over and over and over again, which is give us other game modes, give us time travel, give us draft, give us blah, 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 blah. And they just don't do it. They just don't care. They aren't investing in it. And it is the most frustrating thing in the world. I don't know what to tell you. It just sucks. It absolutely sucks. So, yeah. Thank you for rephrasing my video in a more structured way, Joseph. Appreciate it. I was just, you know, yelling at the camera, admittedly. So, ultimately, Master Duel is doing fine in and of itself because of what it is intended to be, a gacha. And that is what it is. It's just a gacha. It's just a way to milk and promote a product which is, for all intents and purposes, just gambling. And it sucks because there's so much more to Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's so much more to the game. And unfortunately, we will probably never really get to enjoy it to the full potential and extent. Unless you're willing to interpret and use a ton of, you know, third-party software and things to make the game playable.